Too many stroke survivors don't get the therapy they need. And this is why the DIY mindset is essential to your stroke recovery journey, because the majority of your progress is going to take place outside of traditional therapy. We'll talk about how to develop this DIY mindset, what you need in order to be successful, and how to structure your home rehab program to get the best outcomes. Let's get into it. The DIY mindset. So let me preface this by saying, I wish that we didn't have to have this conversation. I would love it if every person had a therapist directing their therapy, but unfortunately, in the healthcare landscape that we have today, that's just not always realistic. So while you may not be versed in the latest evidence or have a complete understanding behind a certain intervention, or generally be a therapy expert, there are ways that you can still set yourself up for a successful home rehab program. What is the DIY home rehab mindset? It's centered around 5 different ideas, and the first is self-sufficiency. And this is recognizing that there are indeed things that you can do, knowing that you have the power to make changes and see progress happen. And the second idea is that you have an attitude of perseverance. And this means that you are going to keep going even when things get tough. You are only accountable to yourself in the DIY mindset. You don't have a therapist pushing you along. So an attitude of perseverance is absolutely essential. The third idea is that you're taking back control. Just because therapy has stopped or you didn't get it in the first place doesn't mean that you have to give up. You have control over what you'll do, and you won't know how much progress you'll make unless you try. The fourth idea is that you have a can-do attitude, but please don't confuse this with eternal optimism. That's not really healthy. This just means that you recognize that there are things that you can do even amongst the things that you're not able to do, and that you are going to implement those things that you are able to do. And the fifth and probably the most important idea is that you and you alone are responsible for your journey. No one can work out for you. No one else can put in the hard work that is required for you to see progress. And while this may sound intimidating, I hope that by the end of this video, it actually sounds empowering, because you have the ability to make changes and to see progress happen. And at the end of the day, you're the one who is responsible for that progress, not your therapist, not your partner, and not your children. How to develop the DIY mindset. It's human nature to want instant gratification and an easy way to do things, but the DIY mindset is anything but. It requires you to dig deep, to learn, and to try new things. For example, YouTube has a wealth of information related to stroke recovery. You just want to make sure that you're learning from credible sources, like qualified therapists like myself and physicians who are in the stroke recovery space. Read stroke recovery information from credible sources like Heart and Stroke Foundations and Associations, Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, etc. Dig into stroke research if you're into that sort of thing. And make sure that you join stroke support groups. Learn what other stroke survivors are doing to help further along their progress. And while what works for someone else may not work for you, you can always reach out, talk to your doctor before you try it, and then give it a go on your own. Principles to understand. In order to develop a solid DIY mindset and home rehab program, there are a few principles that you need to understand to some extent. The first is neuroplasticity, and if you've ever watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard this term at some point. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to adapt, reorganize, and change, especially after a brain injury. When there is a dead or damaged area of the brain after something like a stroke, this is our brain's ability to remake connections from our brain to our body, even though that part of the brain has been damaged. After you finish this video, I highly recommend you go check out this one. I go more in depth on what neuroplasticity is and go in depth on the 10 principles of neuroplasticity, which you will need to understand to have a successful home rehab program. The second is learned non-use. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It's learning to not use your affected abilities. And it most often comes down to not using your affected arm. This can be detrimental to your progress as it encourages a lack of use of your affected arm. This means that by not moving that arm, your brain is not trying to remake connections. So move it as much as possible. And try and remember to include it in daily activities, not just your home exercise routine. The third thing is motivation versus routine. Motivation is great until you don't have it anymore. Think about when January 1st rolls around. You've set your New Year's goal, you're super hyped about it, and maybe you get out your running shoes the first day. You're trying to get more active. But by the time February rolls around, those shoes are stuck in the closet and you're not getting out anymore. When motivation fails us, this is where routines are super important. If you make your home rehab program part of your routine, you're more likely to do it, even when you're not feeling particularly motivated, because it's just part of your schedule. The fourth thing is to include meaningful things. One of the principles of neuroplasticity is salience, or doing things that are important to you. So in addition to your brain prioritizing these pathways, it can also make your home rehab much more enjoyable. The fifth thing is to avoid burnout. It can be easy to get tired of or get burned out with your home rehab program. So make sure that you switch things up to keep it fresh and include activities that you find fun instead of just rote exercises. The sixth thing is to set goals, and this is huge. This gives you a way to know what you're working towards and then also know if you met that goal. I always recommend using the SMART goal method whenever you're writing out your goals, which means that your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, meaning that you have a certain amount of time that you hope to accomplish that goal in. You also want to make sure that you're setting kind of just right goals, not something that's too easy or something that's incredibly challenging. And then remember to adjust your goals as you meet them so that you're working towards something new. How to structure your home rehab routine. So I've created 6 steps to help guide you in structuring your own home recovery routine. The first step is to make a list of the things you want to work on and set your goals. Now here's the thing, I don't want this to get too overwhelming. There may be a lot of things that you'd like to work on, but I want you to narrow this down to around 2 or 3 things at a time. And this can be focused on particular movement, being able to raise your arm, maybe move your ankle so that you can lift up your toes, or it could be more outcomes based, like being able to take a shower by yourself or perhaps walk with a cane instead of a walker. So then the second step is to find a way to address your goals. And this is where learning, reading, and watching videos can be exceptionally helpful. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that you're looking at reputable sources. So you're looking at things from hospital systems, from practitioners, from trusted foundations and associations. You're looking at published peer-reviewed research. And maybe you're looking at specific medical associations like the American Medical Association or even the American Occupational Therapy Association. The third step is to include both activities and exercises. Exercises are exceptionally helpful. They're usually a bit more straightforward and a little easier to understand if you're trying to get a certain movement back. But we cannot forget about activities to help us regain movement and to regain other abilities. What's nice about including activities in addition to your exercises is you get a little bit more bang for your buck. You may be working on more than you think you are. For example, let's take tying shoes. Instead of just working on dexterity, you're working on bending over, core strength, trunk strength. You're working on lifting the arms, pulling the shoe up. You're getting some shoulder and scapular involvement there. Then, in addition to that, you're also getting the dexterity of tying your shoelaces. Step 4. Structure your home rehab routine. Make it a point to know which days of the week and what times of the day that you are going to be engaging in your home rehab routine. This helps you know what to expect, and you can also plan your rehab routine ahead of time. So, for example, let's say that you are working on both arm movement as well as ankle movement. Well, you don't want to do 2 arm movement days back to back because then you might get sore and not feel like doing it the second day. So you can structure your routine so that you have got 1 arm movement day and then maybe you do an ankle focused day. To make it a little bit more motivating, you could even have your routine up on a calendar. It's a nice visual cue for your brain to say, hey, have you done your home rehab routine today? Step number 5, give yourself a reward.
3 words for you, treat yourself.
We all love a reward, but most importantly, our brains love a reward. We are very motivated by the thought of getting a reward. So perhaps when you complete a week of your program, or maybe you meet a goal, plan out some rewards for yourself. They could be something as simple as having a bowl of your favorite ice cream, booking yourself a massage, buying a new book, or perhaps getting tickets to that concert you've been wanting to go to. And step number 6. Switch things up when you hit a plateau. So you've been doing steps 1 through 5 really successfully, and then bam, plateau or a backslide happens. And I want you to know, first of all, that plateaus and backslides are normal in stroke recovery, although they are not fun and can be extremely disheartening. But recognize that this is part of that DIY mindset. This is where you take your power back, because you know that this is a normal part of the process. It is the way that the brain heals. It's not like recovering from a broken bone. And because you have this knowledge, you know, hey, I've hit a plateau. I need to switch up my home rehab routine. Let's try some new exercises, some new activities, and keep trying new things until you feel like you're on the right track again. Developing the DIY mindset and structuring your home rehab routine are not easy things to do, but there is a huge payoff. It allows you to take back the power and control in your life that maybe having a stroke stripped from you. And it also allows you to keep making progress when you may not have otherwise done so. So leave me a comment and let me know, how has your home DIY program helped you continue to make progress in your stroke recovery journey? I'm gonna be leaving a link to my How to Stroke Start Here playlist, and this will give you much more in-depth information on a lot of the things that I've touched on today. As always, if you found this video helpful, please make sure to leave it a like, and if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notifications for when I post new videos. Post Stroke is a nonprofit, and you can help us keep our content free, either by giving us a super thanks by clicking in the YouTube bar below, by giving us a one-time donation via PayPal, or by becoming a Patreon member, where in exchange for a monthly donation, you get access to cool perks like social media shoutouts, behind the scenes footage, and even YouTube shoutouts, of which I have some today. A huge thank you to each and every one of our patrons, and a special thank you to Heather G, Modus Nova, and Ryan D in our Empowerer tier. We can't do what we do without you all. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.